I haven't lived in Kansas City for over 13 years, so when I come home, it's a bit of an event. Sometimes my parents have parties for us. Sometimes we just have parties at my parents' and don't fucking tell them. About 2 Aprils ago, I was home for a wedding. Through a bunch of weird experiences, I've become friends with Justin Verlander, who's a pitcher for the Houston Astros. Yeah. At the time, he was pitching for the Detroit Tigers, and they had a night off in Kansas City, so Justin and I and a few of his teammates went out and had a few drinks. While we were out, Justin saw a young lady. He goes, "I'm pretty sure I know that girl. I think she's an actress. I think my fiance and I hung out with her last weekend. I should probably go say hello." I said, "Justin, we're in Kansas City. There's no way that chick's an actress. She probably works at Cheesecake Factory." He said, "No, I think that's her." He calls the waiter over. He goes, "Who's that girl over there?" Waiter says, "I don't know who the girl is, but everyone at that table is with Mumford & Sons. They're here playing the arena tomorrow night, and they're here having dinner." And Justin says, "Well, send them a bottle on us," meaning him, because I'm not paying for that shit. First off, not a big Mumford & Sons fan. Second off, if I'm hanging out with you and I know you've signed a contract for over $100 million, I'm not paying for shit. Yeah, fuck you, dude. You pay for shit. It's not even on your register. I pay for shit. I don't even get to buy shoes next month, and I'm gonna be fucking pissed. So he sends them a bottle. They come over to say thank you. Turns out it's not Mumford & Sons. It's just and Sons. Mumford isn't there. I don't know where he was. I'm assuming he's back at the hotel writing a song that at some point goes, So and Sons come over, start talking to the Detroit Tigers. I'm not really involved. I kind of tune it all out. But when I come back into focus, and Sons are talking shit to the Detroit Tigers about beer pong. And Sons are like, "We'll fucking whoop your ass at some beer pong." And the Detroit Tigers are like, "We get paid very handsomely to put balls places." Fucking bring it. And I said, "Hey, fellas, my parents live about 8 minutes from here. We could settle this." The reason I said that was because I was fully aware that both and Sons and the Detroit Tigers have an entire floor at whatever hotel they're staying at to do whatever the fuck they want to do. So there was no reason to come to my parents' house. It was complete fake hospitality until they all turned around and looked at me and said, "Fuck yeah! Let's go to your parents' house and play beer pong." Yeah. And that's when I went, "Oh, shit!" Because it is now 2 o'clock on a Sunday night, technically Monday morning. My parents are not gypsies, all right? They have real jobs with real responsibilities, and that shit's about to start in about 6 hours. So what am I gonna do? Like, I can't look at these guys and be like, "You guys, my parents," right? So I just said, "Fuck it, let's roll the dice, see what happens." So we start to leave the bar. As we do, my sister texted me, because she was also in town. She said, "Hey, I'm out and about. If you get home before I do, will you walk my dog?" And I texted back, "Unless you're out and about with the goddamn Dave Matthews Band, you better get your fucking ass home, because shit's about to go down at Ma and Pa's house." So at 2:30 on a Sunday night, me, my sister, and about 12 dudes roll into my parents' basement and start throwing beer pong. And let me tell you, shit got weird. Like, weirder than I've already described. Like, my sister, who's 30, ended up in her prom dress. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. God bless her for being able to fit in it, but also the fuck. All right, so about 3:30, I decided to go out and smoke some weed. Ampersand Sons come with me. But as it was the middle of the baseball season, the Detroit Tigers could not partake, so they had to pretend like it was the playoffs and watch. So we come back in from smoking weed, and my dad's downstairs and he's pissed. I'm like, what's up, Dad? And he's like, the fuck's going on down here? I go, well, this is and Sons of Mumford and Sons, and this is half the Detroit Tigers bullpen, and we're playing beer pong. And it was in that moment that I realized my father was no longer sure if he was actually awake. You gotta look at it from Dad's point of view. He walks downstairs in the middle of the night, sees a bunch of weird dudes that he kind of recognizes, and my sister's in her prom dress. Yeah, shit's weird. And Dad's confused as shit. He's just like, is that Justin Verlander? Yes, sir, it is. Well, then I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. He walked upstairs. That was the last I ever saw of him. Not ever, just that night. That would have been weird. That's a dark turn to that story. That would have been funny if he just was like, you know what? I'm just fucking leaving the whole family after this thing. Whole next day, I'm freaking the fuck out. My parents have done a lot for me over time. I don't need to be pissing them off over some bullshit. So when my dad came home, I was completely prepared to take him out to dinner, buy him some drinks, make amends for the evening previous. That wasn't until my dad walked in the door like he'd had the greatest goddamn day of his life. He walked in like, what's up, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Pachoo! All right. I go, the fuck happened to you today? And he just stopped. He goes, I fucking hated you this morning. He said, I woke up on about 4 hours sleep. I cursed your name all the way to work. But then I got to work, and everyone started asking me why I looked so tired and exhausted. So I started bitching about my son bringing home the Detroit Tigers and Mumford & Sons and playing beer pong all night. And now I'm the coolest motherfucker in the office.
I was with my parents in a crowded museum, right? My dad had taken off without telling anyone. He's the master of the French or Irish goodbye. Ever since he retired, he'll just be like, is that a boat? And he's gone, right? They'll find me, fuck him, just wanders. It's his right as a man above 60. So my mother says, where's your father? And I wish every day, I wish I would have gone, I don't know, or that way, or anything besides what I did, which is point like this. First off, who points like this? Like a gun, and didn't look, and went, I think he went that way. And my fingers went into a man's mouth, into his mouth and head. Full penetration, full. Not a poke, like my eye, ow, my neck. Hey, you got me in the tit, you jerk. Nope. I felt the hot wetness. I felt the mysteries of his teeth and tongue. I know things I shouldn't know. And I heard the like the choke. Got him deep. My mom's hands went up and her eyes got huge. And they said nothing but, you've disgraced our family name forever. And I pulled my hand out and spittle came with it. Yeah, and I wiped it, which seemed disrespectful at the time. Like, oh. And just said, oh. A long vowel sound. That's a nice apology. But the guy, something got messed up in his head because his hand came up, but it came up late and it came up wrong. His hand did like, and his hand went side of his head. Like his brain was like, what the fuck? Plug the hole. No! Lower! Too late! His eyes were blank. He was no longer with us. He'd gone away to a farm he grew up on, running through a field of wheat with Cocker Spaniel puppies and his dead grandmother, because that's his happy place. That's what shock is. There's no way you're ready for that shit, right? His whole system went, what the happened? What? Get the brain out of here. There's no way he was ready for that. No way that guy woke up that day and was like, I think it's a museum day today. You see a Picasso, here they got a couple Cezannes, right? A Degas, I love the ballerinas. So get a cup of coffee, and maybe while I'm there, some random dude will finger fuck my mouth. Hope not, but I'm ready if it happens. And it's not as if I was like, ooh, what's this? Look at me! But it wouldn't have been creepier if I had, you know what I mean? And swear to God, the hand went in, and I pulled it out, wiped, we turned and walked away. Never said a thing. We psychically agreed as men, this didn't happen. You're goddamn right it didn't. If I ever see him again, I have to let him kill me. You understand? All I can say is, please make it quick. That's it.
I got called into jury duty last year. I didn't want to be there. Found out I had nothing to worry about. After roughly 15 minutes of honestly and pretty aggressively answering their questions, they wanted absolutely nothing to do with me. I didn't know this, but when you get there, you can fill out a form saying you don't want to be there. And the last question on the form is pretty straightforward. It says, do you think you'd make a fair juror? I was honest. I said, no. I'm a comic. I get paid to make quick judgments and stick to them. And that's exactly what I plan on doing in your court. I thought that would get me tossed. They did not. They made me stay there. They put me in the jury selection box. The defense attorney starts asking me questions in front of the defendant, which is awkward. He's listening to us. And it was weird. The judge told us that the defendant had just been released from prison, where he had served several years for the attempted murder of a rival gang member. Now he's being charged with murdering a rival gang member. So I'm like, great. I'm in a room with somebody, definitely getting better at murder. And I thought that because when I saw him, I immediately thought, yeah, that guy's a murderer. And I thought that because he had gang tattoos all over his face, like a lot of gang tattoos over a lot of his face. And look, I know that having gang tattoos all over your face doesn't make you a murderer, unless you're charged with murder. Then it probably makes you a murderer. You know, if you have any common sense. So the defense attorney, he reads my answer to the last question about making quick judgments, and he thought I was joking, I guess. And he goes, so have you made any judgments here? And I go, yeah. I think that guy's guilty. He says, you can't know that. You've heard literally no evidence. And I said, look at his face. Everybody thinks he's guilty. And then I heard some snickering from the other potential jurors. I looked over, I counted at least 2 thumbs up, and I felt like I was killing in the courtroom. The comic came out in me. I felt like I had a hot crowd. I felt like they wanted more. And I wanted to put on a good show. So then the attorney, he goes, well, if the prosecution doesn't provide enough evidence to prove him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, you have to find him not guilty. That's his words, you have to. And I just said, no, I don't. I make bad decisions all the time. I can make one here. And he said that would be illegal, and I got very nervous because I wanted to say one more thing, but even though I watched a lot of crime shows, I still can't fully wrap my head around what contempt of court actually means. But I did feel like I was treading in that direction. Then I also felt, well, you've come this far, let's ride it out. And I said, I don't know. You know the law better than I do. Maybe that would be illegal. But to be totally honest, I do illegal stuff a lot, and I usually get away with it. Right? I told him, I was texting my friends about how much I didn't want to be on this trial while driving here today, and no one caught me. And he shook his head, he talked to the judge, and about 2 minutes later, I was walking to my car. Free man. Felt good. The truth had set me free. It finally paid off for having a bad attitude.
I love telling a story about my worst show ever. And I just kind of said this a little bit. First of all, I appreciate you guys all coming out tonight. Thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all. You guys are part of my dream. And it's so cool to be telling this here because when you start doing comedy, first of all, no one wants you doing comedy. That's how comedy starts. You just show up at a bar like, hey, there's comedy. They're like, go fuck yourself. So you have no money. You have no money. And I got booked at a college, And every comedian that you know does colleges because we're money whores and we'll do it. Colleges are terrible sometimes. And I'll tell you why. Like, you look at a place like the Vic Theater. They put on shows every week. They know what to do. Lights, microphone, stand, audience, show, music, whatever. That's what they do. Colleges are different because they don't do shows all the time. So sometimes it's great. Sometimes you're at the University of Colorado, it's 3,000 seats, it's already sold out, they give you a check, you kill that bitch and they carry you out like Rudy. And the next day, you go to the University of Nevada and the show's at noon in the cafeteria, the mic is on the fucking floor, and some random girl just goes, just pick the mic up and start telling jokes. I'm like, no, that's not how a show starts. That's what a schizophrenic does. I'm not going, people are getting fish sticks. It'd be like at Show Jack, because one day has nothing to do with the other. It'd be like, on Monday, your boss is like, hey, everybody, free massages for everybody in the office. And you're like, great. And then Tuesday, there's a dead guy in your cubicle. It doesn't matter. So I say all that to say I was doing a college early in my career. And just so you guys understand where we're coming from, I needed this money. Are we there? Okay. I was going to do this show. I needed this money. I was gonna do this show. No matter what happened, I was going to do this show. All right, are we there, bro? Okay. And it started out great. The gig was at the Westin, that real nice hotel. They put me up in there, and the gig was in the ballroom of the Westin, that double ball, the ballroom where the people get married. And there were two things about the show that was kind of weird. One, they wanted me to wear a suit. Fine, I needed this money. Second thing, the show was at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, yeah, I know, that's a good time. Y'all want some dick jokes with those eggs? There's no reason. Comedy barely works at night. So 8 o'clock, I was gonna do the show. So I put on my cheap Men's Warehouse suit, and it's like 7:50, and you know the little voice in the back of your head is like, man, just check. I was like, let me just look at my contract to see how much time they want me to do. I know if they want me to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I look at my contract, they wanted me to do an hour, which is fine, I could do an hour. But they didn't want me to do stand-up. They wanted me to give an hour speech on note-taking and organization. I know. And I know right now you guys are trying to think of where's the joke coming? How did you get out of it? I didn't get out of it. And there is no joke. I take the elevator down, the elevator doors open, the college liaison opens the door, she goes, are you Jackson? I go, yes. She goes, you're late. She flings open the double doors to the ballroom. There are 750 college students in suits, pantsuits, MacBook Pros, iPads ready to hear this Negro give a speech on something he's never heard of. Now, how did you get out of it, Al? How'd you get out of it? Tell the funny joke. Tell the funny part. There is no funny part. I didn't get out of it. I went up on that stage and I bombed for 60 minutes. Do y'all know how long 60 minutes is in real time? Not like I'm watching a TV show, I got up, take a pee, come back, make some popcorn. Like do you know how long 60 minutes, 6-0? I stayed up there and bombed. I'm sweating through my suit. The guy that booked me has like a red light and he's flashing for me to get off, give me one of those, like, nope, he's not gonna pay me. I was like, he's not gonna pay me, he's not gonna pay me. So I stayed up there for an hour. Thank you, I deserve that shit. I'm up there, I get off stage, and the guy that booked me was so mad, he had my check in an envelope. He threw it on the ground. I needed the money. I went to go pick it up like a punk, and this big, tall white dude, like 6'5", went and brushed past me so hard on his way to stage, he almost knocked me over. And he goes up on the stage, and he starts giving a speech on note-taking and organization. I'm like, what the fuck? Yes. Funny story, kids. The college fucked up and sent me that dude's contract. I was supposed to do 10 minutes of jokes to liven up his boring ass note-taking speech. And instead, I did his speech for him with zero knowledge because I needed the money.
Cincinnati's funny. Every time I walk around downtown Cincinnati, Cincinnati's definitely a city I am black famous in downtown. Because I tell you, every time I walk around downtown during the day, I don't ever stop at any white people. Ever. I can stop at every black person though. Fuck. Sometimes black people stop me even if they don't know my name. They just so they see me on something. Cause I'll be walking, I'll see three brothers coming this way, and I can see the wheels fucking turning as I get closer. And they be like, oh shit! Oh, that's old boy! That's old boy right there, that's old boy! And then a friend will come up, oh, that is him! That's him! He's from the arm. He's from the arm. Yup, that's him. I've never been on a show called The Yep, by the way. And then sometimes if I look back, like black people look at me like I'm not supposed to look back at them. Don't look back here. You know you. Motherfucker walk around the city like you ain't you. Yeah, it's you. He acting like he ain't him. I tell you what, I like being black famous, so I do. I like it. Because I travel, I'm in a different city every week, and I love it like when I get to cities and I see black people in customer service jobs. So if I'm at the airport, like when black people working at Delta or United, when I get to a hotel, I love it when black people are at the front desk, because what I've learned through my travels is when black people know you and they like you, man, black people will hook you up. They don't give a fuck about the rules. White people, we're not like that. We're just not. We want to help you, but we can't. Company policy. But we do. I can't. Cameras. I was thinking about all the free shit I've gotten in my life being black famous, right? I've gotten free clothes, free shoes, food, liquor, gotten into places I shouldn't be in, you know? See, I remember, it's a true story, but it's about like 6 years ago. So I was going to the Bengals game, and I'm walking around trying to look for the gate. I'm getting in, right? So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm looking up, and all of a sudden there's one black dude, security guard. I was like, hey, what's up, G? You in town? You got to show us something? I said, no, I'm just going to the game. He goes, you got tickets? Yeah. So I showed him the ticket. He goes, come on, walk in. Motherfucker walked me in. 15 minutes later, we on the sidelines, pregame. I said, damn, this motherfucker got me on the field. So we sitting there bullshitting about life, and all of a sudden he goes, G, I'll be right back. I gotta run do something. Just stay right here. You good? It's my area. I said, all right. I'm sitting there. Now I got no lanyard. I got no credentials. All of a sudden a white security guard comes from here. Hey, where's your credentials? And now I didn't want to snitch on old boy. Well, I don't have anything. He goes, how'd you get down here? I go, I just walked. So now he's trying to kick me out of the stadium. Why did another black security guard come from the other side of the field? Gee, just come down here. Okay, I'm going here now. I'm bullshitting with this dude. He's upset with a white dude. This motherfucker, man. Motherfucker been here 5 years. I've been here since Ken Anderson was here. Motherfucker, Ken Anderson. Been here 45 years. This motherfucker been here 5 years. He trying to run shit. Gary, I got this. From the 30 to the end zone, that's my shit. This motherfucker got 10 yards. He trying to run the whole goddamn field. I'm just agreeing with him. He do seem like he do too much. He did, man. Even when we got in town, like we flew in like 3 days ago for the special to got in early, and I had a bunch of my boys are in town, so we went to Avis when we landed to get a rent-a-car, and we got to Avis. It was 2 white ladies and 1 black lady working at Avis. So we get in line, and literally I waited for the black lady's counter to open up at Avis, you know? Like it was my turn to go. The white lady goes next. I go, go ahead, man, go ahead. No, go ahead, I'm gonna wait. Go ahead. As soon as that black lady's counter opened up, I was walking up like, come on, please recognize me. Please recognize me. So I got there, she knew where I was. She goes, oh, hey, Gary. What you doing in town? You back home for a couple days? Yeah, no, I got a show. I'm filming my Showtime special out here. Oh, okay. I might have to check that out. Okay. Well, let me see. We got you in real quick. What the fuck, economy? I can't have you ride around my city in that bullshit. I don't know what the fuck she starts typing. All I know, we got an Escalade for $34 right now, so. Thank you, Black Lady of Avis. Hell yes, she got free tickets. She's in here somewhere. You take care of me, I take care of you, trust. But it was funny because I didn't know what she was typing. She was typing away, and then she hit me with the keys. That's when I looked at the new contract, and that's when I saw Escalade 4 days, $34. Not a day. Total, $34. It's like $8.75 a day. So when I saw that, I grabbed my road manager. I said, yo, man, leave her tickets. Any show she wants to go to, leave her tickets. Just let her go. Come on. So he was like, all right. So now when she realized I was going to leave her tickets to the show, now she want to do more shit for me. As if the $34 wasn't enough. So now I'm walking to the Escalade, and she started yelling at me, Gary! Gary! Don't worry about that gas either. Okay. I ain't putting no gas in that motherfucker. Oh, it's gonna come back on empty. Trust and believe it's gonna come back on empty. If I gotta push that motherfucker myself. I think that was her. I see you, thank you, doo-doo.